Small business owners, entrepreneurs, medium startups, and VCs, this one's for you. Welcome to Beyond the Bottom Line, Balancing Evolution with Execution, hosted by Elevate Talent Solutions founder and CEO, Ron Miller. Through Ron's own hard-won wisdom, along with an array of luminaries across the entrepreneurial ecosystem, you'll glean priceless wisdom that will help you see past the day-to-day grind and into the future where you can check off today's to-do list and achieve innovation and elevation to ensure your business is future-proofed. Fulfilling and profitable, it's time for Beyond the Bottom Line, Balancing Evolution with Execution. Take it away, Ron.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Bottom Line, the business podcast where we don't pretend everything's working. We know damn well it isn't. Today, it's summertime, and we're mid-season here in July. We have the start of one of my favorite all-time summer shows, Big Brother. Avid fan and watcher, one of the only reality shows that I really participate in. I'm not a big fan of reality television. We're also into the season of AGT. We're getting close to NFL training camps opening here, and most importantly, getting close to Penn State football time here in a few weeks. But there is a summer show that is on every single year, has become a little bit of a national phenomenon, and that is American Ninja Warrior. Not to be confused with Wipeout. Wipeout is a level of humor there because the whole purpose of Wipeout is to make everybody wipe out in the most humorous way possible. Where American Ninja Warrior is really, it's a show about training and discipline and fighting every single obstacle that's thrown in your way in order to get that warped wall and hit the buzzer, right? Because you want to get to Mount Kilimanjaro weeks after it began through all the qualifiers. It's crazy obstacles, a lot of athleticism, and very few people ever make it through. And I think in a business podcast, this sounds a little familiar because it's kind of like the candidate experience now, right? Let's talk about the job search in American Ninja Warrior style, not from the company side, but from the candidate side. Because right now it feels like the process is more like a competition. It's painful, humiliating, weirdly athletic, and it requires endurance, flexibility, and kind of an emotional support animal of one's choice. Let's take a lap through the modern job hunt of today as if it were an episode of American Ninja Warrior. And why? Because honestly, it really tracks, right? Let's begin the course, right? The shrinking steps, that's number one. It's where the person sprints across all these angled steps that get smaller and faster as they go. And the whole object is get through it as fast as you can to the next obstacle, right? Well, it's kind of like your job post. You're excited. It starts strong. Great pay, hybrid, growth opportunity. And then you click apply and then fine print. It hits you like a slap in the face. Like you missed that last step and went head first into the mat. 8 years of experience required. Entry level, must work weekends. $19 an hour, right? Each step, smaller, faster, dumber. And just like the show, most people wipe out here because they get there and they're like, screw this. Or they'll just continue on because they probably aren't going to hear back anything anyways, but let's get into that. So you make it past what is those shrinking steps. That next obstacle, well, that's the rolling log, right? So this is the one where they got to cling to the spinning horizontal log and tries to throw them off. So the faster you can go over that without looking down, and the better your balance and the better a chance you're going to get through obstacle 2. Well, it's like the ATS systems, right? You upload your resume, they get told to retype every single line into every single box, and you answer 47 questions that have nothing to do with your qualifications. And then the system that just spins you off into an automatic rejection 12 minutes later, sometimes 2 minutes later, or best yet, never at all. And no one has actually looked at your application. Not a one person. So, this all sound a little familiar? If it is, just hang on tight because we haven't even gotten to the good parts yet. So now you make it past the log somehow, and now you're onto the salmon ladder. It's where you jump on and you grab the bar, and now you're just going up with sheer force, just forcing it up a few feet into the next notch to get to the top to grab it, right? And that's like the interview gauntlet that we all run right now. You made it past the ATS, congrats. Now you got a phone screen, then a recruiter call, then a one-way video, then a manager panel, then an assignment, then a presentation to the team, Then it's a 30, 60, 90-day plan presentation, right? One rung after another, after another, after another, after another. Each round, just one more pull-up until your arms give out and you finally just say, never mind. But let's just say you make it past the salmon ladder. Now you're on the broken bridge, okay? And this is where the platform just shrinks in and collapses. If you hesitate, everything's falling as soon as you touch it. So speed and being light on your feet, it gets you across that obstacle. And this is like where candidates are trying to get clarity. So, hey, what does success actually look like in this role? And the feedback you get, well, it's evolving, or it depends on the team, or we're looking for someone flexible, which is really code for no one has any idea what the F this job really is or how to be successful here, right? Welcome to the bridge. Good luck not falling through on any of your questions, okay? Even if you get a chance to answer them, because sometimes the joke is, and what you run across the bridge, and it's not even there. They're like, oh, trust it. It's there. You just can't see it. Okay. Well, let's say you have great jumping ability. Now you're on into the final legs here. And now maybe you hit the wing nuts, right? Those big, giant spitting nuts that you got to leap between. And you're on them, just holding your hands. You see them swinging back and forth. And then they let go and it's God in the air. Like, oh, what are we doing here? And a lot of people, this obstacle gets them all the time. Very few get across it. But hey, it's like scheduling in the process, right? You're trying to interview while juggling your full-time job, your family, your sanity, your job search. You get rescheduled and then you get ghosted. And then all of a sudden you just get looped into a Zoom call that nobody prepared you for. And then someone on the call is, oh, I thought you were talking to another hiring manager, or I'm not sure why I'm on this call. Or could you tell me about your qualifications again? It's like a constant moving target, and every swing is a gamble. Every hold is completely temporary. And you're just trying to survive long enough to get to the next thing, right? Kudos to you if you even got to this point, because at this juncture, 95% of people applying to jobs don't even get to the second obstacle, and not by their own volition. Now let's imagine that you're one of the few that get there, and now you're on to what my favorite one is the spider jump. So this is the obstacle where you take a running start, you hit that trampoline, and you jump up in between the two walls. It's all about pressure. Really what that is, that obstacle, is it's all about endurance, height, and wingspan, because that obstacle is pretty standardized. And if you're the right fit exactly, you are going to have a hell of a time even sticking the landing. We've all seen this show, and we've all seen some of the smaller competitors rarely hold on, right? It is a tough obstacle. Well, this is the internal pressure in the job search. You've done the work, you've shown up, you've been polite, professional, proactive, and now you're just completely stuck. You're suspended between patience and frustration, between silence and follow-up, between hope and the realization you're probably not getting the job. And the longer you try to hold it together, the more exhausted you get. The spider jump is meant for the runners in American Ninja to try and get through as quickly as possible, because there's only so long that you can hold the pressure. But in the job search, it's almost like they want to see you remain suspended there, right? Like it's a game, like dance monkey for me, dance now in between the pressure walls. Come on, man. Seriously, let's get it together. Candidates make it through the spider wall. So now you're on to the last obstacle, and that is what every Ninja Warrior ends on, and that is the big giant warped wall. That big curved wall, I don't know how tall it is. It's 8, 10, 12 feet tall. You got to take a running start. You got to have enough inertia to get up it, and then enough of a wingspan to get your fingers on the top ledge of that, and then the grip enough by this stage of the course to grab it and pull yourself up. It is that big step covered wall, right? Big curved one. And that is the offer stage. You did it. You made it through everything. And then you're told, we decided to go with an internal candidate, or, well, leadership changed direction, or we don't feel it's the right time yet, or we're looking for stronger alignment in sales, or whatever the hell that means at this point. Like, you didn't know that your alignment was off at this juncture? You've basically, as a candidate, run full speed into the wall. You almost made it, and just as you reach the top, the whole thing warped out of reach. It's like it's run up this 10-foot wall now, and you got the job, and you reach up and you hit 10 foot, And all of a sudden they raise the top of it another 4 inches and go, I'm sorry, we're going to go in a different direction. All this sound really familiar? Because it wasn't a fair shot to begin with. It was just a test to see how much you would put up with. And that's why a lot of people's hiring processes are broken. It's like you're making candidates for your amusement run the American Ninja Warriors course for a job that you want to pay below average. You want 40 years of experience, but you want to pay for 8 years of it. And you make it impossible to get hired. And then you sit and complain and bitch and moan that there's nobody out there that wants to work. There's no talent. Yeah, you know what? Maybe it's time to pull your head out of the sand. Now I'm going to tell you a story of a candidate that I recently worked with. And this is a true story. And I was pissed. You want to talk about livid? I can't even tell you how this candidate felt at the end. I can't even tell you how bad I felt for this candidate. And I almost got in a plane and flew to Texas and put my foot up somebody's ass on this one. This customer that I was brought in to help on was looking for basically a purple squirrel. They wanted somebody to build their vastly quickly growing business that had, I'm going to give you all this, somebody that was local in a specific Texas market, somebody that had experience with importing and exporting, either with the ports, the airport, but ideally both, who's worked and came or built a brokerage, as well as built operations in a team that scaled in a very quick manner, right? No sales background needed on this because they were looking for a separate sales rep at the same time. I just so happened to get referred and I met this candidate, and his name is Alvin, and that is his real name. I'm going to use his real name because this is a real candidate, and anyone listening to this that is in that Texas market, or if you're in the market for someone remote that will make a difference to your business, I want to introduce you to Alvin. Alvin had been doing this exact thing for over 25 years with a track record of huge success. The odds of someone in that market becoming available that had that experience, it was like the sky's opened. It was like Moses came out and the waters parted, right? The timing of me meeting this candidate and introducing them was just unreal. And the only reason he came into the market is because he had been building for several years a similar business that were part of a private equity. And you know what happens in those private equity backed companies? At some point, they get to a juncture and they cash it out. And most people lose their jobs. And that's what happens. He had a great parachute. He was able to have a little bit of part-time in between them buying everybody's contract out upon the sale of the corporation, which was extremely successful and a huge sale and a huge profit for the company doing it. And it's not about that. That happens, what you get yourself into. And so did he. Wasn't anticipating it at the time that it occurred. It came a lot earlier, but again, that breeds the success that he had done. So this guy was the perfect fit. They had not found anyone for months beforehand. You want to talk about almost 2 months through the ringer. They interviewed this guy 4 separate times, once virtually, 3 times in person. Some of those interviews averaged 2.5 to 3 hours. 2 separate projects that he had to present back. And then they wound it up asking him to come out to meet their spouses and bring his spouse along for a dinner. Because they wanted to make sure that if they were going to pass this business off, metaphorically, to a new VP of Ops that was going to build this business for them, that this was 1,000% a fit. He jumped through every single hoop. No questions asked. No pushback. Nothing. Even after the dinner, they actually had called my partner on this to lay out the offer. They needed help to put the offer together. Scheduled him the next day after the dinner to come in to sign. You know what happened when he got there? They literally sat this poor bastard down and said, I'm really sorry. After some consideration this morning, we decided to go in a different direction. We really want somebody with more sales background rather than building the operations because we really need sales. I'm just going to call it bullshit. I mean, this is a masterclass right here. This is not hypothetical. This is not made up. This is factual. This is something that happened a couple of weeks ago. And it's a masterclass in how broken the hiring process is in so many places. Because when you do everything right, you can still end up with nothing but silence and excuses and a professional no thanks. So again, if you're looking for someone that has brokerage experience and you're working with imports, exports, either at ports or through airlines, remote or in the Texas area, someone with a long track record at a VP level of building up startups and corporations in the distribution business, drop me a line because I had to introduce you to Alvin, because somebody is going to hire this guy who's going to make them a fortune. One of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. If your candidate journey feels like this, right? You created an obstacle course. You don't have a hiring process. You have a deterrent system. You built it to be efficient, and you ended up building something people want to escape the hell from. I mean, that's just it, period. End of story. If you just extract joy from watching candidates do this, let me just tell you, you shouldn't be in ops and you shouldn't have anything to do with recruiting or people, right? If you think it's a joke to sit back with popcorn and watch these people run this just to ghost them, screw you, man. I can't put it any more blatantly than that. It is time for people to step up. And leaders, I am telling you again, please, if you have never been through your hiring process, create a fake resume, get yourself in there and see what happens. Better yet, look at some of the people that are in your hiring process you have access to and give them a call and ask them for their feedback on it. You are going to be shocked at what is really going on out there and how badly your tech stack may be affecting. Let's stop running candidates through it's like American Ninja Warrior, right? That shows for summertime amusement and just sheer raw athleticism. It's not to put candidates through that process. And this is something that we help companies fix at Elevate Talent Solutions. We help tear this mess down. We'll help you retrain recruiters to be human beings again and fix tech stacks that create friction in your process and build a hiring flow that's actually worth running for both sides. So the only way to get hired is to survive American Ninja Warrior. Don't act surprised when the best talent stops showing up. Want to build a better course? We've got blueprint and the experience and the team to help. So check us out. All right. Well, that's a wrap this week for Beyond the Bottom Line. This is a quick hit, very impassioned play on it, but folks out there, you need help. You need to take a look at your recruiting, your tech stack, right? This resonates with you. Stop making candidates run through 87 hoops if you have no intent on really hiring them. Hiring process doesn't take this long. If this is your process, you probably shouldn't be hiring. Until next time.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beyond the Bottom Line. Do you have questions for Ron or today's guest about this episode? Reach out and your question might be featured on next week's mailbag. You can learn more about Ron and Elevate Talent Solutions at elevate-talent-solutions.com or on LinkedIn. This podcast was edited and produced in partnership with Adrian Rushart, principal of boutique marketing firm ACR Ventures. Check her out at acrventures.com for all your small business marketing needs. Be sure to hit that follow button and send us love letters and episode ideas to Ron Miller at elevatetalentsolutions.net. Tune in next week, and thanks for listening.